Hello class. Today we're going to dive into the exciting world of energy. Energy is all around us and comes in many different forms. One of the most common forms of energy is kinetic energy, which is the energy of motion. But did you know that there are other types of energy as well? Today, we are going to compare and contrast gravitational, elastic, and chemical potential energies with kinetic energy. Let's start with gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is the energy an object has due to its position above the Earth's surface. The higher an object is, the more gravitational potential energy it has. This type of energy is important in activities such as rock climbing or bungee jumping, where objects are lifted to a certain height and then released to convert their potential energy into kinetic energy. Gravitational potential energy is a great example of how energy can be stored and converted from one form to another. Next, let's talk about elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy is the energy stored in an object when it is stretched or compressed. A common example of elastic potential energy is a spring. When a spring is compressed or stretched, it stores energy that can be released when the spring returns to its original shape. This type of energy is important in activities such as launching a rubber band or shooting a bow and arrow. Elastic potential energy is another example of how energy can be stored and converted in different ways. Now, let's move on to chemical potential energy. Chemical potential energy is the energy stored in the bonds between atoms and molecules. When these bonds are broken, energy is released. This type of energy is important in activities such as burning fuel or digesting food. Chemical potential energy is a key component of many biological processes and is essential for life. It is another example of how energy can be stored and released in different forms. So how do these types of potential energy compare and contrast with kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy of motion, while potential energy is the energy of position or stored energy. When an object is in motion, it has kinetic energy. When an object is at rest, it has potential energy. The key difference between these types of energy is that kinetic energy is always active, while potential energy is stored and can be converted into kinetic energy. In conclusion, gravitational potential energy, elastic potential energy, and chemical potential energy are all forms of stored energy that can be converted into kinetic energy. Each type of potential energy has its own unique characteristics and applications, but they all play a crucial role in the world around us. By understanding the differences between these types of energy, we can better appreciate the complexity and beauty of the natural world. Thank you for joining me today as we explored the fascinating world of energy. Stay curious and keep exploring. Do you have any questions about the different types of energy we discussed today? Feel free to ask and we can dive deeper into any specific topic you're interested in. Remember, energy is all around us and understanding how it works can help us appreciate the world in a whole new way. Let's continue to learn and explore together.